To many of us, it will seem like, well, just 5 minutes ago that people not much older than these two, 15 and 18, that people of that age went off to Vietnam. Now, those men are all aged in their 70s.
I just put my name in for the conscription, and of course my marble come up, and I was just learning to shear then, and so I had to give that away and go into training. But for a shy country boy, it was certainly an eye-opener.
The start of a new offensive against the Vietcong.
In 1969, Peter Bradford's work address changed from Eyre Peninsula, South Australia to Vung Tau, South Vietnam. He was assigned to the 86 Transport Platoon, a group the infantrymen nicknamed the Galloping Greengrocers.
86 Transport's role in Vietnam was supply and movement of equipment and troops.
The 86ers didn't like the nickname, so came up with a motto, "Quick and Deadly," along with the logo of a striking cobra on wheels.
They got the emblem from the Coral Shelby Mustang off the Ford car and played with that and tried to sort of make it significant to us with the tyres and the flames. We were the biggest transport unit over there. We had sort of the biggest range of vehicles, etc., and we were pretty proud of the job we were doing. So I think it was just for morale and that sort of thing, which was good.
In short, whenever the Army needed something moved, they called on the 86, whether it was troops, ice or fuel.
I did drive work with an American-based unit there, 13QM, and at the time I thought it was a good idea. We were taking 4,000 gallons of avgas up to Nui Dat for the helicopters. And after I come home, I thought, well, you're just a little bit of an idiot, Peter. That was a bomb on wheels.
A replica of the gun jeep that provided their convoys with protection has been sitting in the grounds of the beachfront caravan park at Victor Harbour this week as hundreds of veterans of the 86 platoon staged a week-long reunion. A time to reminisce, and for one sergeant, to fill in a few blanks.
I'm discovering more assets these reunions than I knew when I was over there with them for the 12 months. It's surprising how much they can keep from who shouldn't know about it.
While the men gathered outside, their better halves were inside the marquee. But it's more than a shelter. It's a recreation of the watering hole known as the Turtle Tavern that was the centrepiece of the 86's social life in Vietnam.
A favourite activity was building pyramids out of the empty cans. We used to try and reach the roof with them. You know, there was a fair amount of beer consumed and a fair few laughs, which was necessary to relieve the tension and under a fair bit of psychological stress, which has been borne out since. You know, some guys cracked early, some blokes went on for ages before they succumbed.
The 86 Transport Platoon kept the Army rolling in Vietnam right to the end. It was the last group to leave in March 1972. The vehicles were loaded onto HMAS Sydney to return home. The servicemen boarded a Qantas flight.
When I came back from Vietnam, I went, was on the farm, and the next door neighbour farmer, I'd known, we'd grown up together, but it wasn't the same. He'd like to tell me how many eggs his chook had laid and how many pups his dog had had and all this, and I found that I wasn't very interested in that anymore, and but I could relate to fellas that have been away or in the RSL a lot easier than the normal civilian.
As time went on, some returned to Vietnam.
It was very pleasant to see that it wasn't exactly the same and put a lot of ghosts to bed, I think. I'd recommend it to any veteran who'd been there, go back, and those things aren't there that they probably fear.
While those trips tend to be one-offs, what isn't is the biennial reunion when the 86ers gather again around their striking cobra and remember a time when they were young men from all over Australia who trained together, who sat together and who worked together in a war zone. The climax of their week-long get-together is Anzac Day.
The whole morning starts off with a fuzzy feeling inside to know that, well, there's over 200,000 people who've given their lives so that I can go about and do this.